strength. You give me love, that's how we'll live. That's how we'll live. Courage won't break. If you're with me, my enemies can never win.
Welcome to our first episode of the Proper Podcast then. I'm Tim, I'm one of the admins of DBZF. I'm one of the permanent podcast hosts. And Rogue is the other admin. She's doing all the background tech work and stuff for this.
Hi, this is Engineer. I'm one of the admin advisors of Dragon Ball Z Forum.
This is Cal.
And this is Jennifer, otherwise known as that crazy cell lover.
So I suppose the first thing we should cover, as normal, as news from the forum itself. We've had a couple of new elite members since the last podcast that have been voted in, and that's J Smack and Animation. So congratulations to them, and hope they enjoy it and stuff like that. And I believe someone's going to cover the Parliament news as well.
The DBZ Forum Olympics are underway. If you'll check out the forum discussion area, forum announcements actually, it says Contest DBZ Forum Olympics, sign up, everybody sign up. You may actually win a game off of Steam. We have a whole bunch of contests that are about to take place, and Rogue has a list of contests that she would like to do.
Yeah, and so these are things like a caption contest, a quiz about the forum, a guess the picture one, guess the song, and guess the user. And so basically you'll get points for each event. Then if you win, you'll get to choose the game that you want to get.
I think two things should be noted. First, the way I understand it, the prize is coming from donation money, so people that haven't donated, that is something that the forum uses in a positive manner. So that is right, Tim, right?
Yeah.
And another thing is the outcome of a lot of recent things has been due to Parliament, so I'm glad we ended up deciding on getting that up and running again. So those are two things that I think are really important to note about that.
Yeah, that's been going pretty well so far. We've had quite a few things go through, a few changes and stuff like that. A few debates happening, and that's all on the wiki page and the Parliament page itself. The other thing for forum news is that recently we've actually hit a new post record, both for so far this year. We've actually done over 120,000 posts for the forum, which is higher than any other year by pretty much double. And we're not even at the end of the year yet, so that's a very good achievement, I reckon.
Yeah, it's always good whenever you have a lot of activity, any forum.
I'd like to say that at least 2,000 of those posts were dedicated to loving Sal. That's very important news.
That is quality posting.
It is. Everyone needs to love Sal more.
Well, we should have known with a guest like you would have a few conversations twist around towards Sal like that. To be expected.
Naturally.
The Minecraft server we have going on costs Tim money out of his pocket, and I personally would like to see the Minecraft server still going up and running. If anyone of you decides that they would like to join in on the Minecraft server or would like to donate to the server, you can make the donations directly to the forum and Tim will somehow get that money. Or I'm just going to donate $15 a month and see where that goes.
If anyone wants to join, just get in touch with me either through IRC or on the forum. I'll add you through to the whitelist. It is a whitelisted server, which hopefully stops any griefing or anything like that. Currently, it is just running the 1.8.1 Minecraft, but we'll be putting a bucket in once the stable update for that's gone through as well.
I checked out the Minecraft server actually about last week after the podcast when Engineer was getting on to me. It's really nice. I plan on eventually going back because I like to build underground houses, caves, if you will, whatever. I mean,
Yeah, we got a few underground things already. Like engineer's got his little Texas place going on down there and stuff. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I built a love shack. Everyone needs a love shack.
It's
Every
worth
server.
mentioning.
Hmm.
Except the Endermen are taking it apart block by block and misplacing it.
No.
It's true. It's true. Rogue actually saw an Enderman take a block from your heart and then place it down elsewhere, but we fixed it. And
You know what? I bet the Enderman just want some love. They just need someone to hug them. That's all.
well, they're not getting any They're not getting any hugs from Danrich, that's for sure, because they're inside Danrich's house taking it apart block by block. He's got looks like a moth got a hold of it.
Wow. Yeah, well, that adds a bit of a different aspect, I suppose. It keeps you on your toes, I guess, but perhaps once we get our bucket back up, there might be some sort of plug and they'll stop people and mobs dismantling houses.
Is it true that they come after you if you look at them?
Yes.
You look away
Yes.
and they start. Oh my god! I don't want to play.
Yeah. They'll teleport to you. They don't mess around.
Well, from what I've seen, I think if you see them underground, they're a little buggy and they can get stuck. But they're pretty scary at times.
Really, the only thing you can do to keep them away from your house is to put a water moat around it, kind of like Pelidor's castle.
Yeah, well, and keep it lit up as well and things.
Let's see. We're going to talk about the DBZ Forum Parliament. Currently, there is a voting issue going on graphic section issues. Currently, Pookie has brought to our attention that there are way too many signature banners in people's signature areas, and that we should maybe limit the amount of images that are there, and to have a stricter template for asking or requesting signatures so that everybody can be happy when it comes to making graphics. I'm guessing that people are just making random requests with awful picture quality images and expecting someone to make them a graphic. It's really hard for our graphic artists to actually come up with something if the image you're giving them is actually bad. So if you give them a high quality image, the productivity and level of expertise that they show when they make the graphic is actually going to increase. So we're currently voting on that. Well, we're discussing it, but the voting will come soon. If y'all have any suggestions or anything like that, please give us a call.
Yeah, just if you on the public gallery, there's a couple of topics and things on there, so people should be able to bring anything up there, and then they can be taken through and added to the discussion as well.
My view on that is that, of course, I'm not the person that makes them. I'm one of the people that asks for something to be made. Is that I wouldn't have a problem with any request. I mean, don't ask someone to do something crazy. But I think what it comes down to is if someone can't do it, just say no. Otherwise, we're kind of limiting the people that can do it and that might want to. Because, I mean, every person on the forum has a different level of, I hate to use the word how good they are because it's so subjective, but I'm going to anyway, of how good they are. And, I mean, the perfect example is a recent SIG that was created was Fulgor's. He gave 3 images that were blotchy and all messed up, and he ended up with a phenomenal signature. I mean, I would use it. Just my 2 cents, though.
Well, I think with that one, though, I suppose it does come down to people saying that they can't do it. But people also need to realize if someone says that they can't do it, to try and compromise with the people who are trying to make the signature as well. I know I have seen cases where people will keep trying to just get something which people aren't capable of making.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, there has to be compromise, especially if they can or don't want to make what you want them to, because they're doing it, I mean, for free just because they like to do it. But yeah, I agree with you.
Jennifer, as a graphics artist, what do you think about the new template rules that we're trying to enforce?
Well, I like people using the template. I try to use it every time I request something just because it's easier for the artists. Like, now that I've actually made graphics, I realize how hard it is to make them, and I try to help the person who's making a graphics for me because I realize they're doing this for free, and I want to be helpful.
Yeah, because it does take a lot of time in a lot of cases to actually do them, because it's just so much for them trying to make it what that person's after. I think a lot of people don't quite realise how much effort goes into them.
Yeah, and like I said, my viewpoint comes from a person that's not a graphics artist, so I would definitely put more weight on Jennifer's than mine, seeing how she does that.
Yeah, but with that said, I still think it's good to encourage other people just to try it out, even if they haven't done it before, because everyone's going to start from somewhere. I mean, I don't do a lot of work with graphics, but I still try it out now and then, and it is a lot of fun, a bit of hard work, and there are a lot of people on the forum that are able to help with that, so definitely encourage people to go in and just give it a go.
I know Anna Pookie would love to help anyone who was interested in getting into graphics.
Yeah.
Well, I think one thing which she's mentioned, which she is willing to do, if you make it I suppose an appointment with her or something, is she will actually go through step by step and help someone through how she's making a graphic or how they're making a graphic or something like that and things like that, which I, for one thing, is a fantastic idea, because a lot of the time it's just those little tricks which you pick up from working with the software that really helps improve the signatures and things like that people are working on.
Yeah, speaking of, Jennifer, do you have a recommendation for an application for people like me that aren't good with it, that would be starting out? Because I usually use Photo Bucket to even edit images, and I mean, I don't have any application downloaded or software. Do you have any recommendations for that?
I actually started out with Photoshop, CS2, because I was on the newspaper staff in high school, and we had access to that program, and that's what I started learning with. So that's all I've ever used. But I have used Photo Bucket to edit images before. Like my current avatar, I actually did the last bit of editing on it in Photo Bucket.
Okay. With that one, while Photoshop is a great tool, that's what I use myself. Because it is expensive, one of the free alternatives which is offered is called GIMP, G-I-M-P. It's about as technical as Photoshop, and it's like not quite on the same level, but it's definitely a good free alternative to it, and you can do just as much with it.
I'll check that out.
It's open source, which is what makes it free.
Yeah, exactly. Well, open source software in general is fantastic, because you've got so many different people collaborating and giving their experience and skills into making it, that you do end up with very good software. And usually if there are bug fixes or problems, the level of support available is incredible, really.
Some of the problems you may encounter is the fact that it runs on a runtime environment because it's made for Linux environment.
Yeah.
So sometimes it'll crash. But they may have fixed those little problems in the latest releases, but back when I used to use it, it would crash on me if I was working on something big.
Well, I suppose in a lot of cases, open source is designed for Linux, but it is usually ported across to Mac or Windows and things like that.
Okay, so there's some upcoming Dragon Ball Z releases Nation wanted us to talk about. Let's see, the DBZ Kai Part 6 is already out. Dragon Ball 7 comes out on October 11th. Dragon Ball Z Movie Pack 1 comes out on November 1st. Dragon Ball Z Blu-ray Level 1.1 comes out on November 8th. Dragon Ball Z Movie Pack 2 comes out on December 6th. DBZ Blu-ray Level 1.2 comes out on December 13th. So look forward to those. I'm sure y'all will.
It still amazes me that, I mean, I don't know exactly what year Dragon Ball started, but this far down the road, they're still recreating and pleasing the fans. I mean, I guess that's just proof that it is one of the all-time best anime out there.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely one of the most well-known Western animes. I mean, at least for myself, growing up as a kid, it was what I watched on TV, and it was just what you did. Just a little bit of quick research, though. The original serialization of Dragon Ball, the manga release, started in 1984 in the weekly